And now you can see the Friday Shot Day show in all its video glory on our YouTube page at roughedge.tv.
Rough Edge FM at roughedgefm.com.
It's tiki time at Harbor Cove Cafe. Dive into the tropical paradise at the end of Spinnaker Drive in Ventura with vibrant drinks, delicious bites, award-winning fish and chips, and more. Now featuring extended hours and happy hour. Fridays from 2 p.m. to 8 p.m., Saturday and Sunday from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. Harbor Cove Cafe, the hidden treasure at the end of Spinnaker Drive. Visit harborcovecafe.net for more information.
Turn it up, get ready for the roar. Friday Shot Day show, knocking on your door. Grab your glass, pour that liquid fire. We're gonna drink till we can't get no higher. Friday Shot Day show, gonna make you scream. Raise your glass high, live that wild dream. Feel the burn, let it take control. Pour another round, lose your soul.
Friday Shot Day show.
Always. El Canton de la Mi Padre.
See,
Isn't that the name of Linda Ronstadt's album she did for her father, all in Spanish?
I have no idea.
We were just talking about Jared, who's learning to sing in Spanish.
He has a
It made
couple
me think
songs
of
under
that.
his belt now.
Of course, he's not a native Mexican speaker, Spanish speaker. Well, I guess there is a difference between Mexican and Spanish language. It's dialects,
There's
right?
Castilian Spanish, and then there's Mexican Spanish, Hispanic Spanish.
Yeah.
And then even going south, I mean, people from Argentina sound different than people from Costa Rica that sound different from people from Mexico, and because the different regions
Yeah,
have
exactly.
different
Have different dialects. Yeah. I actually think that's cool. I almost got Elvis down far enough. He needs to come down a little bit more because now it looks like he's hanging by the neck until dead.
Well, it could be.
But,
Swinging those hips the way that he
yeah.
is, you never know what could happen.
I'll lower him down. This is the Friday Shot Day show live here on Rough Edge FM. We're very late today.
Mhm.
Had some computer issues, but we're up and running now.
Yep.
And we still got some time. What time is it? 3:45. So we got 45 minutes. We can get hammered out here. And I've got some stuff to talk about. First of all, we have this nice bin of booze for Jared and May.
Oh my God.
It's a lot of booze.
There.
You got it?
I got it.
Okay. So we're going to go through it right now so you know what they're going to get. And then we're going to see what we decide to keep.
Minus
Because
one or two
stuff, I think so. I
you know what it needed? It needed its own independent outlet. I think this wasn't giving it enough juice.
That's weird.
So I plugged it in separately, and then all of a sudden it started charging up.
Can you check and make sure we have sound? Can you?
Yeah, but you can't do it in here because we'll get feedback.
Thank you, sir. James is our savior. As you know, he does all of our, he built this
Except
studio.
I'm the one who solved the problem today.
Today it was Julie. Today, Jim came in and plugged some things in that didn't get plugged in. But Julie figured out that the computer would not charge when it was plugged in with 4 other devices.
Yeah, it needed its independent outlet.
Yeah. So when she did that, it got its from 2%, which wouldn't run, to 10%, which it did run.
Yeah.
So anyway,
I am the Mac person, though.
she is, because this is my first Mac. This Power Mac we run the show off. First one. I can't even copy files from it yet. I got to figure stuff out. But Julie has used that Mac for how many years now?
Oh, since I was in high school, I've always been a Mac person. I have used a PC in the past. I do not necessarily like it as much. I can, but especially after using Macs, it's an adjustment because things don't.
Oh, they
some
are.
of the commands. I mean, they're similar, yes, especially nowadays because the interface they're trying to blend them to some degree to make them user friendly, but there's still commands and things that don't run the same. So I'm used to doing things one way, and all of a sudden I go to do it on a PC and it doesn't work the same way. And Jim, vice versa. He'll know how he knows PCs ins and out because he used to build them. He goes to a Mac and he's like, this won't do it. And I'm like, yeah, it does do it. No, it doesn't do it. Yeah, it does do it. You got to do it this way. Oh,
that's exactly true. And I'm the same way. I've come to the point now where I repair my own PCs because I know a little bit enough about them and I can run anything on them, software wise, etc. But the Mac is new to me. I don't want it to be much longer, but we'll see. I'm thinking about buying. I do have to buy another PC by the end of October because that's when they're getting the drop in the Windows 10 support. So I want to have a Windows 11 computer by then. But I also want to get another one of these that I can take with me places to write and stuff like that. So I'm going to end up with 2 new computers by the end of the year.
I find that creatively, Macs tend to cater to the creative.
That's what I've heard too.
More what they offer. PCs work better for people who are more numbers and finances and all of that because their Excel, all of their, but you could run Excel on a Mac too. But a PC is more designed for office work, for spreadsheets, for all that type of stuff, where
it works really well for writing books. I use it for my novels, and and it may be just because I know PC so well, but I get bogged down on a Mac if I'm trying to write, but on a PC I fly. So
yeah. The one thing I do like about Macs that PCs don't necessarily offer is that Macs, everything is obtained through the App Store.
Yeah.
So everything is verified.
Right.
So you know that whatever you're getting from there, you have people from Apple that are verifying it, making sure that it's going to work and that it's not going to have problems, where a PC, you could get anything from anywhere. And that could also do anything to your computer.
Well, and that's what worries me because there's been lawsuits suing Apple for that, saying that they're blocking software. Well, there's a reason they're blocking the software, but it looks like that they may have lost that lawsuit. They may have to open that door up and it won't be going through the apps anymore.
Which they shouldn't, because people should be able to protect their users.
Can you hear us or no?
Where are you playing it to?
Huh?
Where are you streaming it to?
YouTube? That would help, wouldn't it?
Could you not find
Go
it?
to roughedge.tv. James is here again, checking us on our...
What were you looking through?
Everything but. We should be on Instagram. You couldn't find us on YouTube? .tv.
He doesn't stream directly to Facebook like you do.
No, I only go to YouTube. So he's looking to make sure that you find folks out there can hear
Facebook. I think our show's a little edgy for Facebook.
Did you find us? He's got that look in his face, folks.
You're cramping our style.
And then we need to know if people can hear us, because
what? No
volume.
No volume.
Well, that just sucks. So what do we do wrong?
Are you seeing volume here? And the dial, and oh yeah, it's showing up there.
Yeah. Is it the right mic? Sure it is.
Do you have your volume up on your phone?
Mix.
No, I do. Bluetooth. I always.
Oh. So we're good.
Let me shut off Bluetooth.
All right. He was hooking up to our. You probably heard all that through the board here.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Oh my Lord, my husband.
Well, that's computers, man. They all.
I don't know why I keep connecting.
It's like. There we go.
We're in. All right. That's awesome. Thank you, my friend.
It's the question that you were asking earlier. You know,
what you're more familiar with.
No.
Oh.
Are they functioning on all cylinders?
Oh. It's true.
There are days when he's functioning on a streamlined cylinder, and everything that hits outside that cylinder, it's like, duh.
Well, he got it. That's all that matters. So we're good now.
Mhm.
I had a tooth yanked this week. That was no fun.
Fun.
No fun. I have a tooth in the back right next to an implant. And it was always this is the kind of stuff you want to hear on a drinking show,
Yeah.
right? It was,
Why we drink.
it was a place that was a big enough gap that stuff got stuck there. And even though I flossed and even though I pushed and whatever, the dentist always told me that's a problem area. Pay particular attention. I thought I was. Well, there was a little lip on that tooth that we didn't know about. And so that tooth got decayed rather severely. So he wanted to put in a second implant because it's right next to an implant. But he got looking at the bone and said, yeah, I don't think it's going to work. Sent me to a specialist. The specialist looked at it and said, yeah, it's not going to work. We can't put another implant in there. It just got to come out. So they took the tooth out. Now, I haven't had a tooth out since I was a kid and got my wisdom teeth pulled.
Mm.
So technology has changed dramatically, but not that dramatically, because after he gave me the shots, and Dr. Babbitt, my dentist, shots are completely painless. He's really good at that. After he gave me my shots, he pulls out a clamps on because there was a crown on that tooth, has to pull the crown off. The crown, of course, breaks. So then he's got these pieces of this crown all over. Then he's trying to take the tooth out as best he can in one piece. Tooth said no, and tooth starts falling apart. And then, so he's pulling pieces out of it, and then the roots would pop up back into the tooth. They wouldn't come out. So he had to monkey around with that. So finally he get it all done. And I'm laying in the chair there, and I was supposed to take some sedative before I go in, because I'm always nervous at the dentist, but when it gets to surgery, it's something different. But I couldn't because of my medical condition. I can't take any sedatives. Like, great, now what? So I just skipped it. Didn't matter, but I was awake enough that, because I was wide awake, I kept hearing things like, pass me that bone file. I don't want to hear that. So anyway,
At least he didn't like straddle you and like use knee.
And see, because I was awake this time, I knew that. But last time there was a boot print on my chest. No, it wasn't that bad. But anyway, Dr. Babbitt, you're the best. And I like this guy a lot because, like I said, completely painless as far as shots go. And he's really into technology. He loves the latest technology. His x-ray equipment, you don't need any lead shields because it's not true x-rays. And it's instant. He scans it, boom, there's a picture of it on the thing. Mm. It's great. And that's not the only technology he uses. He uses a lot of it, but I love the fact that he's on the cusp of that stuff, that he stays right on top of it. So that was one thing that we did this week that was so much fun. The other thing is we hit a couple of tiki bars.
Well, did you hit him hard?
Hit him real hard. Not hard for me.
Leave him standing?
Yeah. The first one we went to was the new House of Bamboo. Now, as you know, we've been to House of Bamboo before, right, and we were a little disappointed.
On the fence.
Yeah. This time we went, fantastic experience. Everybody was in a good mood. Everybody was glad to see us. The drinks were fantastic. And I thought I had some pictures of them here, but I didn't pull them up. But they were the drinks were fantastic. We were there long. First of all, we get there, and there's just two of us for a quick drink. And she says, "Oh, we're booked until like 6 or for 45 minutes, or whatever it was." Mm-hmm. And we're like, "Okay, well." And she goes, "You know what I could do? I do have a table inside that's booked for 3:30. It's 2:30 now. If you can be out of here by 3:30, you guys can sit there and have a drink." Like the way she thought. Mm-hmm. So we went in, we sat down there, ordered our drinks. So they're taking care of us there. Mm-hmm. Then our server comes over and she's in a great mood, takes our drink order. Shelly got a hurricane, she wanted to call it a rum runner, but there's no banana flavor in it. So I don't know exactly what it was. And I got a virgin hurricane. Both drinks were perfect. Nice. They were just excellent. And so we will be going back there soon and revisiting. And while we were there, we got to experience their features. They every like half hour or so, it couldn't have been that long, 20 minutes must have been. The lights would dim. There'd be lightning and thunder. The walls, which were all designed to look like black lava, would glow red, like they were heating up. It was very cool.
Nice.
So yeah, it was a very neat experience. So House of Bamboo in Camarillo is one of the newest tiki bars in town. And I will tell you that Randy at Harbor Cove Cafe told us that we'd gone too early, because last time we went, we were a little disappointed. He said, you got to wait. You got to let them shake out the.
Yeah, you got to let him settle in a bit.
Yeah, and they did. They did. And now
Nice.
it was much better experience all the way around. So House of Bamboo in Camarillo, highly recommended. Now, the other place we went was to Ventiki, because they had a guest bartender.
It's been a minute since you've been there.
Well, we've dropped by occasionally when we were there, but it's not like it used to be every single Friday.
Mm-hmm.
But this time we just went, we kind of just show up. Well, we went this time because Blue Tiki Forge was there. And I talked to the guy about Blue Tiki Forge, and I think he's going to come on the show at some point. And he's just this guy who retired after years of working and just enjoys the tiki lifestyle. And so he's got his own drink recipes. The drink he had that day was called the Ventura Volcano. And this photo doesn't do it justice, because that's the Ventura Volcano. But that fruit there was on fire. And
kind of like the jet pilot.
yes. And can you see, I know it's not a very good close-up, but can you see that ice behind that fruit?
Mm-hmm.
It was a cone of ice that thing originally sat in, and you lit in fire. So it looked like a little volcano of ice with the fire coming up.
Nice.
And it was a delicious drink on top of that as well. And he was there in this booth. And as you can see, very festive booth. And I met this gentleman. He's the one behind the bar, of course. And again, I'm sorry, I forgot his name, but he was great. And hopefully we'll get him on the show. I gave him my card. And like I said, he's just a cool guy, because he's just relaxed, doing his thing, enjoying the tiki lifestyle, creating these tiki drinks. And it was just fun to hang out with him, and his drinks were excellent. So
nice.
we actually went there just to visit him, because he was a guest bartender that night.
Mm.
And if you would like to follow him on Instagram, this is his Instagram page, Blue Tiki _Forge. And you can see he's followed by R. Scott Bolton. Who's that guy?
I don't know. He's somebody that I've heard about from before.
I heard he's a creep.
Could
be true.
I don't know. He kind of likes to make up stories.
Yes, I do. That is true. So anyway, did you do anything interesting this week, Jules?
Well, my son was home from Northridge. It just came to me. I was
Northridge.
thinking of that
We
earlier.
could not. We were thinking Newhall. We could not think of that for the life of us.
Yeah, he was home from Northridge pretty much most of this week. So we hung out several times, which was nice. I miss him so much.
Of course.
You know,
He moves in next door to you, like my kid. Then you're gonna not miss him.
I would be totally fine with that.
It's actually very cool.
Yeah, you know, because we just get along really well together. And we did a couple different, things. I'm getting ready. Peter Pan is opening in 2 weeks. So, and I have jury duty on Monday. So I'm balancing. I better not get stuck in jury duty, because next week is tech week and I'm going to be busy running around.
Well, just make sure you tell them that. And most of the time they'll let you, okay, we understand that. We'll let you go this time, and they'll let you go.
You do it when
sometimes they don't. No, you have to tell the judge. Okay. So when you go in and sit down, you're just going to be reading your book or whatever you want to do all day until they call you to a courtroom. But when they call you to a courtroom, they will ask you at some point, is there any reason you can't do it?
And I'm the one who's leading it right now.
Yeah.
Because the director can't do it.
So just tell them at that point. And like I said, most of the time they'll say, understood, you've got something to do, go ahead and do it. Sometimes they'll say, no, you need to be here. So that possibility exists too.
Mm.
But it's unlikely.
Yeah.
It's unlikely.
And, but anyhow, we get that going on. And, I was without a car this whole past week, which didn't help because the van
broke down, right?
Yeah. But now it's fixed. So I got my car back, which is going to help lighten my load, because now I can run around and do the things I couldn't do before because I didn't have a car to do it with.
Yeah. What was wrong with the car?
He needed a new radiator.
Oh, okay. All right.
So we got that fixed, and forever forward.
Yeah.
And just, getting ready for the summer months and doing, a whole bunch of different things as usual. I took over an hour today to clean up my car because having my husband drive my car around for a week.
Wait, let me guess. Does your car, after he drives it for a week, look like the hallway did here?
Pretty close.
He was doing construction and just had everything in the hallway, which I'm okay with because the man works hard. But every time I came in, he apologized for it.
Yeah, he's got so much going on, and he's running here and there, and he's filming and doing this and doing that. My seats are always down. I'm a little anal about my car. I have been for a long time because I was adamant that I wasn't going to have kids and a messy car. So I always take anything I bring into my car, I take out at the end of the day. I have everything set up nice and neat. I have a basket in the back, and I have all my stuff in that basket. Then I got the bag for my grocery bags, but everything is neat, and I clean it out on a regular basis. I don't have a lot of garbage. He's eating in the car. There's chips on the floor. There's stuff here. There's a spill there. The
man's on the run. He's busy.
It was just like a lot for me. And, they say that women have different brains. So when women get stressed out over a mess that men sometimes look at and go, oh, it's not that bad. It's very different brains. So for a woman, it stresses them out if they get stressed out over stuff like that. For a man, it's not so much. So he does. And I try not to bug him about it. But when he's done using the car, I'll tell you, I'm right there. I was at the car wash, washing the outside of the car. Then I was cleaning the inside. It took me over an hour just to vacuum out the inside and get it.
Did you have a drink, though?
No, I did not.
What?
But I got it clean. So I feel good now because I can get into the car and I don't feel like I'm like getting into the car like, oh, but I don't want to touch anything.
Yeah, I'm surprised that my wife puts up with my office because my office at home is just a storage unit. And but she does, and I think she knows because it makes me happy. So
well, and if it's your area, that's fine. Just
it really isn't.
Give me a hard time. Like one of the things that I had to do with him here is he would make a mess and then he would want me to clean it up. And I would clean it up and then he'd make a mess again. And then he'd want me to come back in to clean it up. And then he'd make a mess again. And I finally said, okay, enough. If you're going to make the mess, then you have to figure out if you've had enough of the mess, you have to clean it up. Of course, every now and then I come in and I do it for him and it never lasts, but I'm not doing it like I did before where I'm not picking up after you. I'm not your maid. I do enough
he
of that.
He gets around to it.
He does. And if he has to, he
takes
does
months, but
yeah. And he cleans so different than I do that I have to really, I have to remove myself.
Now, what do you mean by that? He cleans different than you do.
Because he cleans where he fixates on something and he gets very anal and it takes him forever to get something done. And he's very thorough about that one thing, but he negates to see that there's like a whole room. I'm the person who goes in and I will have everything picked up and put away very quickly. And I don't worry about the anal stuff until I have time to sit down and worry about the anal stuff. He will get it done, but it takes him forever and he has to tornado it first. Then he gets it clean. And sometimes he gets bored halfway through the tornadoing and he doesn't end up getting to the clean.
I know exactly that feeling.
And it's just true. And I recognize that, but I'm like, if you recognize that, then you have to also recognize that you can't fix him. And when we absolutely need to have something done, I will come in and I'm like, let me just get it done. And I will do it. But on the general whole, it's like, okay, then it's yours to deal with because your mess, you clean it up. At home, he doesn't have to lift a finger at home. At home, that's my place. I do all this stuff at home. But also at home, I'm like, my kitchen, don't put anything on my kitchen counters but food or appliances that belong on the kitchen counter. Everything else gets put away. We don't leave food out. We don't leave dirty dishes out. None of that stuff. And on the same thing on my table. My table's for food. My table's for eating. My table is not a dump all. It's just those are things. But I don't hound him about it. But if he puts something down, I'm going to pick it up and put it away.
Oh.
And if you don't like it, tough titties, because it's my home, my environment, the way that I like to do things.
My wife's pretty much the same way, but instead of putting things away, she says, you need to put that away now. Well, yes, dear. I'll do it right now.
See, I don't make him do anything at home. I don't make, if he helps me, that's great, but I don't make him do anything.
Well,
he can come home and put his feet up. He works hard, and
He
I
does.
recognize that. So when he comes home, I take care of him at home, because I understand that I do work too. I just work a different type of a job.
Right.
And I'm doing, and it's not just working at home. I have the theater that I work at and everything else. So I'm busy probably 5 days a week, but he's busy 7 days a week.
24 hours a day, basically.
Yeah.
It's
So,
crazy.
you know, it's an understanding. And I'm like, don't judge me that I'm not in the office all the time, because I couldn't do that and then still keep the house the way that it is and everything else, you know.
And he doesn't.
But I get up in the morning, and the first thing I do before I do anything else is I turn around and I make the bed.
I've heard many people say that's the best way to start your day. And the reason I've heard it is that because they used to teach us that at work. They would say, because that way, no matter what goes on the rest of the day, you can say you accomplished something this morning. And I would say, I made my bed, big deal. But, you know, again, man, woman probably has a different opinion.
Yeah. Well, and some women don't make their bed either. But I cannot get into a bed that's unmade. So even if Jim stayed in bed all day, for whatever reason, which doesn't normally happen, but sometimes, you know, if I'm going to bed that night, I'm going to make the bed first and then I'll get into it. I cannot get into an unmade bed. I don't know what it is. And I didn't always live like that, but I got to a point where I made like this conscious effort. I had kids. I was tired of the mess, and I just made this like pact with myself, and I do things. And it might be a bit of OCD. Jared has just been recently diagnosed with OCD, because there are things he does that he has to do it the same way every time, and he has to do it in a certain pattern. Otherwise, he's unsettled.
Some of the greatest artists in the world have had OCD.
And I do the same thing. Like there's certain things I have to do every day in the same pattern at the same time, because if I don't, I feel so uneasy, and the rest of my day is all thrown off.
You know what's bad about that, though, is if terrorists are watching you and they're trying to plan a time of attack, they know exactly what you do at exactly what time.
Yep. So they're going to come in and they're going to mess with my coffee pot.
See, that'll be the mistake. That'll be the mistake. All right, we're going to take a quick break here and come back with, I found a non-alcoholic beer that I really like, and I want Julie to try that here. We've talked about it briefly in this show, but I don't think we've given it any real time, so I want to do that. But first, I want to remind you about this. Sure, you've seen the big stuff on TV. They made the Statue of Liberty disappear. They've walked through the Great Wall of China. They've fired a .44 Magnum and caught the bullet in their teeth. But have you ever seen magic close up? I mean really close up. So close you can reach out and touch it. Well, now you can at Spellbound at the Table. Join your hosts, father and son team James and Joshua Lantiegne, as they treat you to an evening of close-up magic that takes place right before your eyes, mere feet or sometimes even inches away. Each month they welcome a special guest magician, handpicked from the legendary Magic Castle, who will astonish you with amazing feats that would seem impossible anywhere except in a theater of magic. Spellbound at the Table, an awe-inspiring evening of miracles and wonder, takes place every second Friday at 7 p.m. at the House of Magic in Santa Paula. For more information or tickets, please call 1-855-300-4422 or visit thomagic.org.
That's an OCD trait.
Yeah. We were talking about OCD, and one of the things I mentioned, great artists, Johnny Ramone from the Ramones had a bad problem with OCD. Not a bad problem. He had a bad case of OCD. And I remember reading a story once where they got home to New York, landed on the airplane, and got all the way home. And then he was fidgety and off, and his girlfriend finally asked him, "What's wrong? You seem to be having some kind of an issue." And he told her, he said, "Well, you know those stairs that are outside where we go down when we get out of the airport?" She said, "Yeah." He goes, "I forgot to touch the rail when I came out." So she had to put him in the car, drive him back to the airport so he could touch the rail and then follow the usual steps that he followed, because he was that that heavy of an OC to burden. But he created some of the greatest rock and roll in history. So
There are times when I'll leave the house, and if I haven't done a certain routine, I cannot settle in. Now, thank the Lord, I have my lock outside now is hooked up to the internet. So if I leave the house, I can double check. If I forgot to double check at home, I can double check and say, oh, it's locked. And if it isn't locked, I can lock it. But there's probably, I'll check it 20 times, throughout different days, and it will always be locked.
yeah.
But there's always that one time when something's going and you forget, and then it's like totally throws me off. So now if I don't make sure it's locked, I cannot function. I'm thinking about it the whole time. It drives me nuts. So now I can just look at my phone and be like, oh, it's locked. Or
thank God for that, because I have the same problem with my garage door at home. I always worry about, even though I stand there and make sure the garage door closes, because there are unsavory types around us. I still will pick up my phone in the middle of the night and it's still closed. I'm good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's things that help with people who have OCD, but
Yeah.
Jared's the same way. He has to check all the locks before he goes to bed. He'll check all the locks. He does this whole routine thing. And didn't really dawn on me. I just thought, oh, he's just really nervous. But he has this whole routine, and he checks everything, and then he'll go do something, and then he's got to go back and he's got to check everything again, and then he's got to touch it, and he's got to do certain things. Otherwise, he can't settle in. He'll be up the whole night not being able to sleep because he's thinking about it until he makes himself get up and check it. And some people, those things don't bug them, but when you have the OCDs, there's varying levels of it. Those are things that you have to do in order to feel settled.
I never thought of it as OCD, but maybe it was. But I can remember twice in the middle of the night, like 2, 3 in the morning. Probably 2, but I wouldn't do it. Yeah, I probably would. I woke up and I couldn't remember if I'd locked the office at work when I left. And so I got up, put on some clothes, got in the car, drove out to the office, checked the door. It was always locked, and then came back home just because I was that panicked about whether I did it or not. So I made a note to myself now when I leave, and I lock the door, I tell myself I'm locking the door now. And I take that mental picture, and it has helped also. Yeah. I mean, I don't have a camera at the office, obviously, but for at home, that kind of thing is solved. So the beer I'm talking about, and I know we've mentioned it before, is Bero.
Okay.
Bero. And this is a beer that was Tom Holland, who plays Spider-Man.
Yes.
He discovered this beer. It was already being made, and he started drinking it because he was tired of alcohol getting in the way of his creativity. He had things to do and places to be, a lot, because he's Spider-Man. Mm-hmm. And so alcohol was getting in the way. So he discovered this Bero, and he liked this stuff so much that he actually invested in the company and is now the face of it. So I got some to try. Okay. And I really like it a lot. I think it's an excellent non-alcoholic beer. It tastes like beer should taste. And I don't know if Julie's going to like it, because this one I think is an IPA.
As long
West Coast style IPA.
If it's not too punchy. Some are punchy, and I have a hard time with the ones that are super duper punchy. But if it's not too punchy, I'm okay with it.
And see, that's my... Punchy is, I like the punchy, and so does Jared.
Yes,
Jared
likes the punchy.
So
it smells like an IPA,
it does,
which is a good start.
I give that a little taste there. Chin.
It tastes like
an IPA.
Yep. I mean, not as punchy as
some of them can be, but punchier than others.
So there's enough flavor to feel like you're drinking something.
Yeah, it actually tastes like an IPA. Now, I've tried a couple of, you've probably seen it if you watch the show, I've tried a couple of other IPAs, and they were not good. They were too bitter. They had a charcoaly flavor that I didn't like. This stuff is really good. So,
no, it tastes like you're drinking a beer.
Yeah. And an IPA, which was always my favorite. So this is an excellent find. And again, it's another, I think it's a 0.5%, because that's the legal description of non-alcohol, but
they've really come a long way with some of these beers. There are some that I drink and I'm like, yeah, this is not too bad.
Yeah,
And there's some people will drink it and be like, oh, and I'm like, okay, but everybody has different tastes.
Sure.
But there's a lot out there now where before
you had near beer and it sucked.
There was just stuff that I tried that it was like, yeah, no, sorry. And for the longest time, we had Odell.
That's still out there. Yeah. O'Doul's.
And it's okay. But, I think there's a lot more out there now that really.
There is. There's no question. Not only beers, but I found canned, and I'm going to get some to bring in, canned cocktails that are pre-made in the can, just like the ones that you get with the alcohol in them. Pop them open, drink them. They're we'll see how they taste, because some of them could still suck.
Mm-hmm.
But this, like I said, I'm blown away by this beer. Would you like some more? I know it's not your flavor of beer, but
just a little bit, because I know you like it, and
it's good.
Yep. No, it definitely tastes like an IPA.
Yeah, I can drink this, and it's good for my current medical condition, and it tastes like an IPA, and Spider-Man likes it. So how can he go wrong?
Yeah, anything he backs right now, he's got a good head on his shoulders.
You know what? I never would have imagined in all my years of, and I was never much of a comic book fan, but movies, seeing the superheroes blow up in the first place was surprising. But for Spider-Man to be the biggest, I never would have guessed that. Never would have guessed that.
He plays it well. And I know
but they all have
their favorites.
Yeah.
And I appreciate that everybody has their favorites. For me, what Spider-Man means to me is Tom Holland. He brings out that young character that is kind of naive.
Yeah.
Which is what Spider-Man was. Spider-Man was a big kid who had these powers that he just wanted to help. And he really plays that off well. He sells it well. It feels real to me.
He really does.
It doesn't hurt that the guy has got all that gymnastics background. So when he does his stunts and things, he can really do it and sell it. It doesn't
feel real.
It doesn't feel fake. I mean, he does some pretty incredible things. And I kind of just like his personality. I like a lot of the movies he's in.
I like his taste in beer.
He's got a good head on his shoulder. So I like him in general as a character. Speaking of superhero movies, I watched the story of Reeves.
Christopher Reeves?
Yes. The other day, there's a biopic on him. Interesting biopic. It's really interesting. And
he was an amazing person.
And they talk about how Superman was the first comic book story to be made into a feature film, live action. Nobody thought it was going to work. And even now, looking at it after, because I watched the first one.
Yeah.
There are some movies from those days that I watch now, and I'm like, oh my God.
That first one's magical.
And they did a great job. He really did a great, and he was such a neat guy. And he admits, I was a little naive about things. I was going through life. Things were coming at me. I was doing really well. I didn't appreciate what I had enough until all of a sudden I didn't have it anymore. And boy, do I wish I could go back and tell that other part of me, be careful.
Yeah.
What you're doing. I mean, and he was always a nice guy. He always had a smile. He was a good guy.
Went to hospitals to visit children as Superman.
He did some things, he said, when he was doing one of the movies where he played the character of the soldier who got wheelchair bound.
Mm-hmm.
He was going to a rehab center, and he was working with the people to learn how to be in the chair and to make it realistic. And he said, every day I left thinking, thank God this isn't me. And he said, man, I wish I would have thought better. I wish I would have approached that differently.
That's very interesting. That's almost like a warning. It's like, hey, don't take this for granted.
And he said it really, once he was stuck in that chair, he said, I really wish I would have handled it a little bit differently, because I could have, But all I was thinking about was myself, and thank God this isn't me, instead of, wow, these people are people too.
Yeah.
And he even went through a lot of criticism because he was trying to make it where people didn't have to be wheelchair bound. And the wheelchair community, there was quite a few people who shunned him for that because they thought, don't look at it as a disability. Don't look. And he's thinking, but there are things you can't do. And I want to make the world a better place. So if I can be part of something that can actually make it easier for people, why the hell wouldn't I?
Yeah.
So he went through a lot.
And I get their point too. I mean, I see that, not necessarily agree with it, but I see their point because
I see their point too.
It minimizes them, but
if you can do something that would give you the opportunity to get up and walk.
I mean,
if you don't want to walk.
Which of those guys, if you offered them a shot that would let them get up and walk like they did when they were 20, wouldn't take it?
Yeah. Well, and the sadder
there's other ones that I know were born that way too, but that's just an example.
And the sadder part of all of it, which I had no idea, his wife was very devoted to him.
She was a great woman too. She is a great woman. She's still around.
No.
Oh no.
She looked at him when he was in the hospital room, and she said, "I love you," because he said he thought maybe I should give up. Maybe this isn't for me. And she looked at him and she said, "I will support you through whatever you do, but you are still you, and I love you with all of my heart, and I will be here for you no matter what." And he said there was no hesitation. And at that moment was the moment he decided, okay, I'm not giving up. And he, as hard as things got, never gave up at that point because he realized that she meant it. She wasn't doing it out of sympathy. She wasn't doing it out of anything other than she really still looked at him. She died 2 years after him.
Oh.
She was diagnosed with a brain tumor and she died.
2000.
Lung cancer. That's what it was.
2006. I was way off on that one. 20 years ago.
Yeah. 2 years later, she had been singing in an event. She was a stand-up comic and she sang and she did different things. And so she was getting back into work and she started to try to sing and she couldn't, and she started coughing and she was having problems and they thought maybe she had a cold or something. And as it progressed, they realized she had stage 4 lung cancer and she died in 2006.
Wow.
So her youngest son, William, was in his teens and within 2 years had lost both of his parents.
It's tough.
It's
an amazing story. Right? I mean, and it's, despite the events, it's a hopeful story. And,
well, and he was a heartthrob of his time.
Oh,
there was so much that man went through, and he didn't, and he could have easily given up, and he didn't. It was a really heart-wrenching story to see. And then talking about Robin Williams. Robin Williams was his best friend. He went to Juilliard with him.
I remember that, seeing things about that.
And he played the Russian proctologist the day after Reeves' accident. He went into the room all dressed in his garb, and at first Reeves didn't recognize him until he started to talk, and then he said Reeves looked at him and his eyes glimmered and he smiled and realized, I can laugh still. And he was there by his side doing things, and anytime Reeves got low, he was there.
Didn't Williams call him literally every day?
Yeah,
I think I remember they literally called him every day.
He was a big part of his life, and he was there doing whatever he needed to constantly. He would come over, he would throw parties for him, he would do whatever he needed because they were so connected to each other. They loved each other, and they were kind of two separate types of people, but they really got along very, very well together. So it was really interesting. It was a little bit of a long movie, but it was a lot of stuff that was like, wow.
Yeah.
It was a lot to take in.
If you haven't seen Christopher Reeve in anything except for Superman, watch his version of movie just slipped out of my mind. Well, he did Rear Window after his accident, which was a remake of the old Alfred Hitchcock film. Not as good as the Hitchcock film, but good to see Christopher Reeve working again. And then he did another movie.
Well, he became a director too.
Yes.
But they said none of his movies he was in after Superman ever made it big in the box office.
That's true.
Superman was the only one that ever made it big in the box office.
Death Trap was the other movie I was talking about. He did a movie called Death Trap with Michael Caine. I mean, there you go. Michael Caine, Christopher Reeve, you're in, right? And it was directed by Sidney Lumet. Very good movie, by the way. So that guy was on a trajectory.
Superman.
The first Superman's the only good movie, but yeah, the rest of the Superman movies get progressively worse until you get to which one's it? Is it 4? It was the last one, which was just atrocious. It's like, why are you still doing?
And he didn't want to do them. He was doing them only because that's the only way he could really make any money.
Yeah, and my understanding is the second one was actually extra footage gathered from the first one. So it's like, wow, you guys just messed that up every which way. But anyway, Christopher Reeve was amazing, and and I miss him about as much as Robin Williams. Robin Williams is so tragic because I think one of the reasons that Williams took his life is we all know he was ill, as his daughter announced that he had a very debilitating illness that he did not want to go through. But I also think he had trouble believing that people love them as much as they do. And I say they do because you still do. You see Robin Williams now and you get a warm feeling in your heart, you just do. And I think that he didn't realize that all of us loved him that much. That was one of the things that his friends often said. They said that the last thing he would always tell them was, I love you. And they would say, I love you too. And he always asked, do you really? That kind of breaks my heart.
His heart was huge.
Yes.
He was a man.
Look what he did with comic relief, for crying out loud.
Yeah. He lived his life his movie Patch Adams was a phenomenal movie. That movie still brings me to tears. And I think he believed in that way of doing things. And I think that's why he became part of that particular program.
Did you, here's a little factoid for you. In that movie, he takes notes on a little pad, I think, or something.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the real doctor didn't. The real doctor took all of his notes on his arm. But Robin Williams' arms were so hairy, they couldn't do that. So they had to give him a little notepad to do it instead. I thought that's a cute little factoid.
Yeah, no, Robin Williams was a very precious human being who probably didn't realize how important the things he did.
I don't think he did.
Meant.
I mean, I think he realized they were important, but I don't think, I don't know if he
realized.
I don't know. I met him once and he was so nice. We were at the opening of the E.T. ride at Universal Studios, my buddy John Larson and I, and there were so many celebrities there that it was insane. And Robin Williams was there. And so we asked Robin Williams if we could take a picture with him. And he said, sure. And then he said, as long as I can take a picture of you. Okay. So we took a picture of him, and my friend John had this camera. It was almost like this huge circular lens in the front. And the whole camera was like that. And Robin Williams took the camera and he goes, ooh, tube cam.
Yeah, he was something else.
Yeah, and I actually got to spend some time with him. That was kind of cool. All right, it's time for this. We haven't done this in too long, and Julie's on the hook.
Bet your ass it's time to taste the cask on the Friday Shot Day Show.
Brought to you by
Pele Utu, Reno's only traditional tiki bar. A kaleidoscope of colors and tropical charm with the undeniable allure of paradise and intoxicatingly delicious cocktails. Pele Utu. Open Wednesday through Sunday from 12 p.m. to 11 p.m. 1275 Stardust Street in Reno, Nevada. For more information, please visit peleutu.com.
Now, if you're going to Pele Utu soon, drive cautiously because it's very snowy and windy and blustery up there right now, and in Reno, and we always worry about them when that happens because they're not walking distance from a lot of things, and people have to get there. Take an Uber, let them be responsible.
And so it's almost summer, and there's snowy.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's Reno, and they don't know what they're doing up there. the good news is, and I'll say this off quietly here just in case. Shelley is planning on we go to Bishop for Thanksgiving. And the kids are going to be there this year. So we're thinking about ditching the kids for a couple of days, driving to Reno, going to Pele Uto, staying overnight, and coming home the next day. So we'll get to go see Shocker and Rosie and hang out at the Pele Uto, and looking forward. I hope we get to do that. So that'll be nice. The kids have to be there because we got dogs. Take care of the dogs. All right. So this is the rum cask, and Julie's going to try right now and let us know what it tastes like.
Not bad. Not bad at all. A little heat, but not too much.
Now, it's been a couple of weeks since we've tried this, right?
Yeah,
At least
it's got
2.
flavor in the front, like you expect, and then there's some heat in the back, but it's not overpowering. Before, you couldn't even talk.
Yeah, it was
after you took a sip.
right. So it's mellowed out a little bit since then.
Yeah, probably not as smooth as it was a couple weeks ago, because it got to one point where
it was
really,
perfect.
really smooth. But it's not bad. It's definitely better than it was that other time. We just could not get a good taste out of it that time, man.
I know those things happen. It's already 4:30. We're just having fun. All right. Quickly, we're going to go through the stuff we brought for Jared and May.
Yeah. Okay.
And I would like you to try that, Julie. So let me get you a shot glass.
I can just reuse this one.
Okay.
Chocolate sips, coffee, and chocolate liqueur. All right.
I thought it was caramel and salt. I'm dead wrong.
Flavor.
This stuff is so good that I asked Julie before we pass it on to Jared and May. We're going to take a little sip here. She's going to take a and see if you think it's as good as I remember it.
It's okay. How long? I mean, it's got some chunks, like pieces in it. Is that just because
it didn't before? It probably just needs to be shaken up.
Yeah, it tastes fine. It doesn't taste like the other one that was.
Yeah, it just needs to be shaken up is all. But yeah, it's tasty, isn't it? Nice chocolate flavor. Yeah.
Definitely they'll like it.
Make sure they shake it up.
It says contains caramel color.
Yeah, for some reason I thought it was caramel salt, but I'm an idiot. What do I know? All right, so that's one bottle.
Now I need a new glass.
Yes, you do. I'll grab it.
Work. Okay, now Bushmills, the original Irish whiskey, triple distilled finest blend. Seasoned bourbon barrels and Oloroso sherry casks created the unmistakable taste of Ireland's most classic whiskey.
Now, you know me, I'm not a big fan of Irish whiskey. I prefer
I took
American whiskey.
Triple home, though, and that's gone.
Why am I not surprised? As you should, by the way. Take it home and drink it. Can I take a whiff?
Yeah. This one
smells pretty mild.
The triple from Jameson is so smooth. It's so good. I know that I tend to be a maker's person, but I really
she fell in love with that one. She really did. So I'm curious to see what she thinks about the Bushmills.
All right, so we'll see. Because I do Tillamook and stuff, but it's like I only do that during St. Patrick's Day because it's not one that I would jump to on a regular basis.
Right. Bushmills.
Actually, it's pretty mild.
Pretty good?
Yeah, it's not bad. I think that they'll like that.
And I know they need whiskey. So
yeah, they're always good. Jared's got several whiskey drinks.
Well, he makes those. Yeah, he does. Is it an old fashioned he sent me a picture of? I think it was.
He does the old fashioned, but then he had the study guide, which is kind of
that's right. There's whiskey in that.
Yeah. He's got a couple different drinks that he makes. And even for the wedding, they get to create some cocktails that are signature cocktails, and they can name them that the guests can purchase.
Oh, that's fun.
Now, they're not going to have an open bar, and I get that.
So I'm out. Can't drink anyway. It didn't matter.
But I mean, there's a lot of weddings. We didn't have an open bar at
Yeah,
our
most
wedding
people
because
don't.
it's expensive. So they're not going to be doing an open bar. They're trying, they're paying for their wedding. So with a little bit of help, if I can, I'll help a little. And I know her mom's going to help a little too. But this is their thing, and they've saved up some money, and they're doing their thing. And they're so frugal about it. I just absolutely love how they're like really like thinking about how to put it all together and what they're going to substitute with this and that and how they're going to make it work so that way everything comes together. And it's neat because some kids just think, oh, they want something and they're just going to go for it, and then they realize they can't pay for it.
Yeah,
they know they have their budget and they know what they can do, and it's
at least it's not one of those weddings where they don't have any alcohol. Because what is that about, really?
No, it's not going to be a dry wedding. It just means you have to purchase, which to me makes so much more sense, because if you have an open bar, people are getting sloshed at an open bar because
that's why we had open bar our wedding. We wanted people to get, and only one person fell down that whole night.
It was you, was it?
We'll move on.
So you've got the Martini Rossi.
That's just a dry vermouth.
Yeah, which...
And
it's
then
kind of the vermouth I think I tend to use.
Is it?
It's the better
Well,
one.
you need a bottle because you can take that.
No, because they can have it because they've tried a different one. And I don't have any
Martini and Rossi's kind of the
it's
staple,
standard,
right? Yeah.
It's better than some of the other ones out there. So it's the higher end vermouth that normally you can get in a regular grocery store. There's other ones obviously that you can get when you go to like Total Wines and things like that.
Right.
But this one I think is probably the better tasting, the better. It's the one I always go for. Then you have that sparkling wine thing that has orange peels or something.
Yeah, some kind of, it's a little 6-pack or 4-pack of bottles of sparkling wine of some type. It
may be something May enjoys.
Yeah, I bet it will be.
Probably. I mean, Jared likes citrus. Jared does not like fruit. Do not ask Jared to eat like strawberries or blueberries.
He doesn't like it straight out?
Not fruit. He is not a fruit person.
Really?
He doesn't like fruit flavors.
What about What about veggies?
Doesn't like fake fruit flavors.
Okay, well, I'm with him on that. But what about veggies? Does he like veggies?
Yes.
Interesting.
He loves.
So he prefers savor to
green
sweet
veggies on top of it. Like he likes those little ones that look like little cabbages.
Not sprouts.
He loves asparagus. He loves
not scallops.
I hate that when that happens to me. Like he likes broccolini. It'll come to me. Brussels sprouts.
Brussels sprout. That's it.
He loves Brussels.
It was sprouts, just not the Brussels part.
And I like smash them down, and I put some butter and salt and pepper, and then I'll drizzle them with balsamic glaze. He loves that.
Sounds good to me.
Things that most kids don't like, he does like, but he is not a big, huge fruit person.
I like veggies, but I can sit there and eat a bowl of fruit. I mean, as long as there's no melon in it, and there's always melon at the restaurants. But if there's no melon, I can just eat it all night long. All right, is there anything else in there we would?
There is the creme de la menthe, which I'm assuming you do with mint juleps.
Yeah, that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. Looks very cough syrupy, so I am not tasting.
Cough syrupy and green.
Yeah, I'm not trying that because I don't like sicky sweet syrupy things.
Yeah.
I'm sure Jared will come up with something for that.
He will. I want him to make a drink using every box item in that ingredient. Tell him that every ingredient in that box.
Yeah, he probably won't do that.
I hope not.
And he might not do that because I might take this one. Because I take these. It's the Mai Tai on the rocks. And I buy my own rum.
Additions.
And I add rum and make it a better Mai Tai.
That's what I used to order in airplanes. Was always those very.
They're not bad.
They're not.
They're even better when you add some rum to it.
When you doctor them up, they come out better.
But yeah, no, they're not bad for the base. definitely. It's just I always add rum because they never have enough of the rum taste. It ends up being a little too sweet. So when I add the rum, it kind of balances it out because I use good rum.
Yeah, exactly. That makes a difference.
Yeah.
All right, so that's it for us this week, folks. Sorry, a little short, but that's because we had some computer issues, but we're all good now.
Difficulties.
Yeah, we always, it wouldn't be Rough Edge Studios without
touching the stuff.
It wouldn't be Rough Edge Studios without the technical difficulties. I'll be honest about that. So we'll see you next week. Doug will be back on the show with us next week. My friend Joe is in town. I don't think he'll be around for the show. I was going to invite him today, but I just lost track of time. So I'm sorry, Joe. But if he can get back on, he'll be here next week with us. And we'll see what unfolds. So we will be visiting a new rooftop bar on a Wednesday night. So okay. I'll come back with reports about that. And whatever else we find out. So Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening.
Bye.
You can always go to roughedge.tv to see the live video feed if you happen just to be listening. And please give us a like or subscribe. It doesn't hurt you, but it helps us.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.
Brought to you by The Grape, Ventura County's premier jazz venue and cocktail lounge, located at 2733 East Main Street in Ventura. For menu and music schedule, visit them online at thegrape.club. This has been a Rough Edge Studios production.